In this episode, we will quickly cover what are functions and how they are different from other programming languages. This is our example code so far. We already have one function. We've been using it so far. This is the main function. This is the entry point. Our first function will be add. We will add a and b, a int, b int, and we will return an integer. Because Golang is a typed language, we always have to define the variable types. So return a plus b, and we have to call the function. Every function have a name. We can call it by its name. So if we just say add 10 and 11, and let's create a variable called result and print it out. Result. Let's run it. Go run that, and we have the result 21. I can repeat that with two different numbers. Result is already defined, so I have to remove this semicolon, and let's say 5 and 7. Run it, and I have the two results. So I can also repeat logic and can remove code repetition with functions. Probably one of the easiest way to see what's happening if I'm going to start a debug session. Let's put a breakpoint here at the beginning. I'm on the main. Let's go to debug, say run and debug, and just execute line by line. Step into, I go into the function, it does the multiplication, not the multiplication, but the addition, return the value, that prints the value. I step out from this, then go to the next function call, add the two values together. It's assigned to results, and it will print the result. That's it. And after this quick recap, let me mention to you that if you have the same type of variables, you don't have to repeat the type. You can see a, comma b, and it still works. And let's see a specific one, what we are going to call Variadic parameters, and change this. And let's say numbers. And add 3 dot before the variable. Instead of this, let's say sum equals 0. We don't have that. Let's loop through the variables. And add num to the sum and return the sum. Try again, and same result, but the difference that in this case, when I use this variadic type, I can use any amount of parameters I want. I will delete those lines so it's not confusing. Try again, and it gives all these numbers together. It's important to note, if you have multiple variables and you're using a variadic one, you always have to put that at the end. But here comes the trick. It's a little bit different as other languages. because Golang can return multiple values, not only one. Let's see how it works and just change this to a specific function which will add the numbers together and add the even numbers together separately and add the odd numbers separately and return both of them. For this, let's create a function which will find out from the number if it's even or odd. The function will be called isEven and return with a boolean, true or false. Add a parameter which is like a num and int, and the logic will be we will do a division by 2, and if the remainder is 0 then it's an even number, if it's not then it's not an even number. So if num %2 equals 0, return true, it's an even number, otherwise return false, it's not an even number. Let's implement the logic and say evens and odds, it's 0 as well. And if I say if is even, num then evens plus equals num, continue running the scripts. On the other hand, odds will be equal odds plus num. Let's fix our typo because it's not in even but is even. And return evens. But we also have to return the odds. It's simple. Just another integer I have to return, and evens odds. Here now I have 2 results, so I have to take 2 results, evens odds, and just print out evens and print out odds like odds, run the code, and I can see it's 60 and this is 66. So we learn how we can return multiple parameters, how we can take any number of parameters, or we can take fixed number of parameters as well. But there's a possibility to simplify this code a little bit even more. There's something called named return parameters. So if I provide the name to the parameter evens and provide the name to the parameter odds, then I can remove this because these variables already declared. I don't need to return evens and odds, just simple return, and it still will work. Yeah, so that's about functions, different from other languages because many languages just returns one, and this Golang functions can return multiple variables. And don't forget, you can subscribe to the channel, you can ask in the comments, and see you in the next episode. Bye.